Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I am really excited, and I think that I'm excited because this is the third or fourth week that we've been in the new Monday night format, and it's a really good time for people to get integrated in doing the boot camp and doing the starting point. And that's just a great time to absorb the information. But I certainly know that I really learn it better when I have the chance to talk about it and share my reflections. So I know that we don't have a lot of people on the live with us right now, but for those of you who are, was there anything that stuck out to you on starting point or boot camp if you were able to join last night? And if you weren't, anything that you've learned throughout the process?
Well, I'm struggling still getting people to do calls or even to pick up new clients. And so I've been doing the new coaching, and I think I'm almost 3 months in and I have 4. And so I keep listening to the same information, hoping that it's going to help. And I get motivated every single time. And then I'm up here and I'm like, oh, great. And then nothing happens and I go like this. And then every time I do another class or a Zoom, I get motivated again. And then I feel stuck. I love the information. Every single time I hear it, it's definitely motivating, but I don't know, I'm struggling with it. So.
Well, Patty, thank you for sharing. Megan, do you want to answer some of Patty's questions? I know that you had some things that you wanted to share.
Yeah, Patty, do you feel oftentimes, and we can take this conversation offline, I was going to give you a call today anyway to say hi, so, but I'll just kind of speak for all the new coaches on our team that might be catching the recording. Do you feel that normally we can identify it's in 3 areas that something's holding us up? It's either an action, so we know what to do, but we're missing an action. It's either a concept that's holding us up, that literally is stopping us from sharing, or maybe it's something we're saying when we're approaching people of, trying to get them more so than just seeing and offering and sharing and caring. So it's either action, concept, or missing a skill. Mm-hmm. So normally one of those 3 areas. Have you thought about where you might be getting held up? Like, I know you feel like you're doing the action. Is that pretty consistent throughout the week? Do you feel like it's when you stop to talk with people? Where do you feel that you're getting held up?
I think it's a combination. I am a real estate agent, and so I'm not always in the office. And so I feel like the amount of people I can speak with there, and I feel like I've contacted people on Facebook, and I know that they understand or we've spoken about the program, but I feel like and I know I'm trying to help them, but I feel like I'd be bothering them if I continuously touch base with them specifically. And so I think it's that. And then when I finally talk to somebody, I think I'm still not getting the wording down, and that's why every time I listen to the Zooms and they say, ask the questions, it's the questions that are the most important. I think maybe I'm still not flowing very well with my questions. So.
Okay. Well, first off, I'd love to get your next share call with you and do some team coaching and just listen and help there. Also, when you're first in the process, it is just the process of everyone's different of who they have in their world. Some of us have like a time who are ready, some of us don't, and we just have to kind of build, and that's okay since we all come from different backgrounds. But I think maybe just getting one of us on your next call would be a great first step. Mm-hmm. Paula, do you have anything that you think might be good to share in general for everyone and for Patty specifically?
Yeah, Patty, thanks so much for sharing. And I love that Megan brought up this SAC. Either skills, actions, or concepts is usually one of the places that we are stuck. Mm-hmm. But it may be that you're just not sharing with enough. I mean, I don't mean that in a way, but as time, that's one. And then the other way, the follow-ups aren't always about Take Shape for Life. On the boot camp side last night, Doug I guess it was after the fact, he really talked about that. is just being in their life intentionally a little bit, especially after you've shared. And then setting, when we have that list of 100 or 150 people that we've shared with, and that you look at them at about once a month, you're just sending them a text. How are you doing? Or we chatted a couple of months ago and you weren't, and that might be a phone call, but this would be something like I would do later is, hey, I know we talked a couple of months ago and you had a little bit of interest, but it wasn't probably the right timing. How is your health doing? Did you want to chat a little bit, again, and see if I can help? Simple.
Yeah, and honestly, it is just continuing to share, because you aren't going to just follow up every week. When Doug says follow up, yes, I do, but you can't follow up for 3 months straight every week and say, hey, are you ready? Follow-ups can be touches, and then remembering to not get so focused in on one group of people, or the people I shared with that. Do your follow-up, touch them, and be in relationship, but don't forget to cast your net wider and to be reaching out to other people, building relationships. The neat thing, Patty, with you being in real estate is that you do interact with a lot of people. So if your clients say, can we hop on, can we become friends on Facebook? Just connecting,
Mm-hmm.
and then letting the outcome be authentic, whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Nancy, what are you in? Are you in boot camp, starting point? I think she's trying to.
I have been in boot camp. I did not see it last night because I had worked all day at the doctor's office and my brain shut down.
That's why we have recording.
The recording, but I did want to say how much I appreciated the Dave Blanchard conference this weekend. It was fantastic, and it got me thinking about how I think. And I'm still processing that, and I'm going to go back and listen to it again because it was so good and so helpful in how I think. I'll catch myself like off in my own fantasy world and say, wait. Let's change the focus here. And I just really appreciate it.
That's great. Yeah, it was really good. I was pretty impressed. Paula and Sean and I have gotten to work with Dave some through some like FIBC things and stuff, and it's been great. But I was really excited that all of Team Wood got to be on that together and just like plugging in together. It was been interesting talking with coaches and hearing that everybody had such a different takeaway, and that was one of my favorite things because everyone struggles in different departments. So yeah, I'm trying to think what was the best part for me. I don't know. I took so many notes, like 3 pages of notes. Patty and Paula, were you guys able to be on that live and experience that, or catch the recordings yet if you weren't on it live?
Patty, go ahead if you did. Yeah.
I couldn't find the number for the leadership call, and then I was on only the starting point last night. So I don't know where. Paula, do you generally post the boot camp somewhere, or does somebody post that somewhere?
We do, but you should get an email every Monday giving you the login information from Take Shape for Live, talking about the events for the day and the week. But yeah, it's the same login every week. I'll make sure that is the upper screen again, cover photo.
I did find it in the email halfway through. So.
Yeah. But Patty, since you're doing starting point, that's perfect for you. You don't want to do starting point and boot camp because it's too much.
Okay.
And your brain will be like, because you're not there yet. So although I know you could totally grasp it, I don't want you to spend all your time training is my point. So I would stick with the starting point. And then, sorry guys, I have a bunch of stuff coming up on my screen. I don't know if you hear it dinging. But I would stick with the starting point and doing the action steps there.
Okay.
Yeah, and Sean, do you want to add anything, share anything before I jump into a little more boot camp stuff?
No, one thing we can talk about right after you go over boot camp, really good to what happens. talking about, and both Megan were talking about, is getting to asking questions, and how do we ask good questions, not only in a share, but when people are interested or we're just getting to make connections. How do we talk about, how do we connect with them so they understand that we care? So I'll touch on that, Megan, as soon as you share some more things from boot camp, because it's probably a good lead in.
Yeah, that's great. Boot camp covered that a lot last night, and Nancy, I'll let you watch it for yourself to build the experience. It was a really good one last night. In fact, I would even be interested, Paula, in seeing if there's a way that we could share. I mean, it was all good, but Corey's segment on follow-ups, I thought that would be great for anyone, no matter if they're in boot camp or not. Do you want to maybe ask Doug about that and see if we can get a clip of it? Because that was incredible, and I know probably, but everyone doesn't need to listen to a whole hour of training. But last night there were quite a few trainers, and Susan LaBelle was talking about just your mindset when you're sharing. And gosh, okay, maybe we should share last night's recording with thinking of you here too. Susan was talking about, when I first started coaching, I was so excited about it. I was like, where are the clients? I'm like, this is awesome. And she's a presidential director, so she's doing great things with it. But she was just like, I was just talking at everyone. I was just like, this is what I experienced. This is what you're going to experience. This is what you're going to do. And she didn't even realize that she was about her rather than, and not even necessarily about her as much as it wasn't enough about them. And that when she made that shift, that really helped her with connecting with the people and helping her clients to have long-term success, because she knew why they wanted to get healthy. I just want to remind us all of that. Even as a seasoned coach, I can catch myself of like, I've coached so many people at this point. It's like, yep, and this is what you're going to do. And it's like, wow, no, it's you have to give every new client that fresh love and understanding their why, and that same that you gave your, number 20 through 50. And then Corey Baker covered, what did he call it? Can't remember what the title was. But he covered following up and how to create clients based on the follow-up. And I loved it because he said that he's typical, pastor has some sort of analogy, but he said that if you do a share call and you don't follow up with them, somewhere between 1 to 5 times and, until they're ready, it's kind of like you're filling a tub and you're trying to fill the tub, but the drain is open. Like you done, but how to plug the drain. So anyway, he said that better. But that's so true though, because how often can we share and go, oh, they weren't ready. Gosh, that stinks. But that doesn't matter. Like what matters is that we are consistent, we follow up. And so he talked a little bit about how to make that a part of his life. And this may sound really simple, but with follow-up, there's no accountability here. I mean, your mentor is going to ask you, well, how's following up going and stuff like that. But it's not like a call that you said you're going to be on with a client or that you're going to be on with one of your mentors. So what he's done is he puts it in his calendar twice a week to make time for follow-up. And maybe he has 5 people that week that he needs to follow up, and maybe he just has 1. But he has 2 time blocks per week. It was like, I'm guilty of not, like, I'm do follow up weekly, but it's not in my calendar so that's really consistent. So I know that's an action step I'm doing because of boot camp, of literally wrote down, I need to put this in my calendar. So I thought that was really, really great. But those were my key takeaways. And that was a really good boot camp last night with good tidbits.
Megan, I was
so
just
I don't know.
Piggyback on that with you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not sure. It keeps saying my internet's unstable, so let me know if I'm sound like a robot. But I feel like that piggybacked exactly on with Dave Blanchard for the weekend about coming from a place of empathy. And we're not there to build a business. We're there to touch people's lives and meet the need. And I love that even when Susan was talking about what is a real share. A share is exploring enough so that we actually have something to present that will meet their need, not just telling them, because we are not sure what they're looking for. And it's kind of coming alongside, Dave Blanchard, I think it's like being on their same path is what really basically what empathy means. And I thought that was powerful because we're about relationships, and the clients will come as long as the relationships continue. They're going to see that consistent caring. And honestly, when a client signs up, some of them are signing up for the diet side, but a lot of them are signing up because you looked them in the eye or you said it with boldness that, you know what, we're going to do this together and your life is going to be forever changed. And this is the last diet you're going to be on. And those dreams that you have, those are going to happen. We are going to see those. And, they're signing or becoming a client because of you in the relationship that they have with you and that trust factor. So I love how it all blends together. Turn it to you, Sean.
Yeah, that's so true. If I can jump in, then you can chat, honey. That's so true that we have to make sure, especially as a new coach within like our first year, like so many coaches on our team are at, we have to make sure that we are coming from that place of like, yeah, we know in America a lot of people need to get healthy, and we're so lucky that we all have found health, but we need to be really careful to not come from a place of judgment, but come from a place of just asking questions and understanding that they're stuck like maybe we were before, or if we don't have much of a weight loss story. If just remembering that everyone comes in every place, whether it's in their business as a coach or you're coming in as a client, everybody comes in such a different spot, and just that we get to be that person that cares, like what Dave was talking about this weekend. We get to be the people that ask the questions and show that love and just let them know that we're here for them. And I feel like that is what makes us different from anyone or anything else out there. I love when Dave said that he and his wife Ramona, that they work with home businesses and they've essentially have been looking for Take Shape for Life. We're trying to create Take Shape for Life for 15 years, and then they found this. I feel like that spoke volumes to what we have to offer, which I know I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I think it's so good. But I think that speaks volumes to what we have to offer, that somebody who is in that business that has worked with, like, I don't know how many hundreds, dozens of home businesses and never seen anything like this before. We really have a gift. So it's pretty cool.
Well, thanks, Megan. I think that's awesome. And obviously, we're really on the theme of empathy and asking questions. It's really so key to what it is that we do and what we bring as the coach in this relationship here. And, I see asking questions as having two key purposes, at least two. One is it's expressing to people and letting them know that, yes, we do care. Because as much as America needs help getting healthy, they also need help knowing that there are people out there who can genuinely care about them and help them. And then the second big reason that I can think of is to help to awaken the intrinsic motivation that they have to make a change in their life. Because it's not, it may be simple to do 5 and 1, but it's not easy for everyone. It can be a big shift in your mental bad habits and bad habits of poor health. And by asking the right questions, we can get them to a place where they realize why it's worth the challenge that it may be for them. So obviously, as you know, when we're doing a share, we ask a lot of questions. And ask the audience again and ask Patty or Nancy, since you're here with us, do you have any favorite questions or questions that you like to always ask when you're doing a share with someone? And there's no bad question to share. And if you don't, then Megan I know that you've got one particular question that you never miss to ask. Can you share that with us?
Patty and Nancy, what's your opening question? Because I think that's the key one that Megan's going to talk about.
I know it sounds silly, but it's not even the question. I literally have to have my notes right in front of me with the past questions. So I would honestly have to look at my questions right now to even see what I normally ask, because it's not natural to me yet. And I know that you guys being experienced just took them right off, and you could probably do it in your sleep. And I'm waiting for the day for that to happen. So I'm not going to answer this question beyond that. Sorry.
Patty, you know what? I'm still there in a lot of ways, and I too really rely on Jennifer to share. So don't be down on yourself if that's the way that you need to do this to feel confident and carry that forward. There's nothing at all wrong with that. I love that, because you've got a system, and a simple system like that is going to be duplicable, and you can rely on what you're doing every time.
Patty, I do that too. I've been a coach for 10 months now, and I still do it. And it makes me think of what to ask. My typical, I'll chat with somebody for a few minutes before I get in to things, but then I ask, tell me a little bit about their health journey so far. I may not put it exactly that way, but tell me a little bit about your health, and then people just really open up, and you can, a lot of times you can get their why from that. Sometimes you have to dig deeper, but that's my opening question.
Nancy, that's perfect. And I'll say for both of you ladies, I still keep the list of questions in front of me, and I'll glance at them from time to time, because I'll overlook something that it would fit right there. But I'm exactly the same as what you said, Nancy, other than I add one more little thing to it. It's just what are you looking to accomplish? Tell me a little bit about where you are and what you're looking to accomplish, because that's my start of their why, as you said, but you got it.
Right down.
Yeah, because then, Nancy, you focus on what they want rather than going off onto the story of 20 years of whatever's been going on, which you want to hear a little bit of their background, but we don't want it to be all, we want to hear about what they're looking to accomplish. And then my line that I love to use too, which I'm pretty sure I learned from Paula, was, and if I haven't gotten a why at the end, but I normally like to ask it anyway. Sometimes people will say, I I've already said that. I'm like, great. But if I had a magic wand, I don't, but if I could wave it over you and you woke up tomorrow and the way you felt and the way your day went was completely in your control, what would tomorrow look like? What would be different? What changes when you lose those 20 pounds other than a few dress sizes? And really helping them dig a little bit deeper. Because so many people are caught up on image and they don't even think or realize that they haven't been awakened yet, and that's part of our job, to awaken them. They have not even awakened to the fact that they can feel good, that they can enjoy life even more.
Good, thank you. I appreciate that, Megan, and both from you and Nancy and Patty as well. One thing that you touched on is that what you're asking there are open-ended questions, and when we're opening up a conversation, it's really powerful to ask that question and then just give them the chance to talk and share and just kind of let their heart out. And that's kind of the first exhale where they loosen up and they're willing to share and begin to be vulnerable with you, and they can begin to understand that you care. And we like to continue to ask open-ended questions throughout a share, and one of the really powerful ones that we like is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to change your life right now? And all of that's so powerful because it gives you a sense of where are they? Well, if they're at a 10, then that can give you confidence to go forward, knowing that this person really is ready for a huge change. If they're a 10, then there's something huge in life. I know that I've got something that can be there to help them. What I often like to ask, sometimes at the beginning and sometimes throughout, are lead-ins to questions that are asking for permission. And there's a few ways that you can kind of phrase that. And these are ways that kind of help put that person more at ease in the conversation. So you can say, "May I ask you?" And it's simple as that. It's almost kind of a magical keyword to the beginning of a question, kind of like just saying "please." You can say, "May I ask you?" You can say, "Would you be willing to share?" Or in the end, you say, "Can we explore what program might look like for you?" And then you can begin to share our offering, whether it's program or the full trilogy. So in addition to asking permission and open-ended questions, sometimes there may be time to ask questions that be quick and to the point and help bring a person to a really clear understanding of an idea. So during a share, you might say, are you willing to eat every 2 to 3 hours? Are you willing to drink 60 to 100 ounces of water a day? And one of the things about that is, they're so often willing to say yes that they can begin to understand the positives of the trilogy that we have to offer. When you're asking, it's also really powerful to ask a question that's really just making a restatement of saying, to understand you correctly, then repeat to confirm understanding. So that shows the one that you're listening and caring, but it also gives you the chance to make sure that you understand, and maybe even phrase something that they said in a more positive light. If they say to you, I don't want to have this pain. There's nothing wrong with that, but they say that in a negative way. We can rephrase that in a positive way and say, so you want to be pain-free and be able to be active and be with your kids or grandkids and not worry about pain. And that, again, helps awaken motivation of running away from a problem, but creating health that they want. And the last thing that I love to do in a share is give a really clear call to action. And I've found through experience that if we're not clear, it leaves a very fuzzy gray area for where do we go from here. And that may be a disservice to them if they're ready to go. So I like to ask very clearly some version of this question. Are you ready to get started? Are you ready to walk alongside me in your health journey? And just see how they respond. And then from there, the answer has to be a yes, no, or not yet. And then we know where we go from here. So Megan or Paula, do you have anything that you wanted to share to how we ask questions and show people that we care and awaken intrinsic motivation?
No, you nailed it. A good reminder for me too, to help kind of like rephrase it. I think I've gotten away from that a little bit lately, of trying to get through calls so quickly that I forget to kind of like repeat back to them. Yes, Calvin, forget to repeat back to them what they're saying. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Sean, I just want to say thanks for reminding of the yes, no, or maybe, or later, because that if we don't get to that point, we haven't done a complete share. And keep remembering that. Okay, so how am I going to say this? Are you ready to get started? Or isn't that wonderful? I can imagine you 6 months from now, how healthy you're going to feel. What do you think? Just something where they have to give you. I like the, are you ready to get started? No, there was 3 phrases. I guess it's 2 statements and a question that I have at the bottom of my share notes. Basically, it's, I hear what you're saying. I hear your heart. I can help you. And are you ready to get started? Now, I don't ask them like that. I ask them in the way that Sean was saying, you know what? I hear what you're saying. You are so excited to actually be at a place where you can be out and play with the kids, or to put on that swimming suit when you guys go swimming. And you know what? Okay, so I've told them what they want. I heard them. I know what they want. I can help. You know what? I think this program is going to be a perfect fit for you because you're such a busy mom. You don't have time. You're taking care of everyone else. And I'm going to be here to walk beside you. What do you think? Are you ready to get started? So you boom, boom. Because we have to remind them of their need that they said way back 25 minutes ago. Remind them how this is going to fit. So in my closing, I always do that. Sean, any parting words?
Yeah, I think that there's one other little thing, and it's kind of a little nuance that I, maybe get to see, but it's really helpful to me whenever I'm doing a share. Is I really try to not leave any room for questions after I ask that. I like to say, do you have any questions as soon as I'm done sharing what program is, and really let them exhaustively ask as many questions that they can. Because one sure way to stumble is to ask, are you ready to get started? And then they have 5 more questions after that, and then it can feel funny to ask the question again. So give them the chance to ask it as much as they want to.
We're paying for it all. So now we're getting, we don't.
Cool. Well, hi, Wes. I think that wraps it up for today. And Paula, Wes, enjoy the rest of your guys' ministry thing that you're up to this weekend. And to anyone who's on the recording, feel free to reach out to us. We have like a week left in the month, and we'd love to assist you all.
Yeah. Megan, I just want to piggyback on that. If you haven't had a chance to sit down and watch the Dave Blanchard recording from the weekend, so worth it. Grab a pencil, tablet, find a quiet place, because it really is some pretty cool stuff to process. And if there's a lot of distractions, you won't catch it. So take some time, because I think that's going to really help develop you and as an individual, which is in turn is going to give us that ability to reach out and show care, that we care, and that we're there to encourage and walk alongside people, because that's the real key. That's when we get to have that fulfillment, when we see our clients reach their dreams and goals. All right, everyone. So we'll see you next week. We'll see you on Monday night training, and then again on Tuesday. So as Megan said, reach out to your coach and let them help you finishing up this month strong. If your clients are having a struggle, this is the time to put them on a 3-way call with your coach. If they're doing phenomenal, this is the time to put them on a 3-way call, celebration call. So that's what we're here for. So please feel free to use us. All right.